color.
Welcome to Power Rangers Savage Stampede. I see what I did there. I'm going to take this out of the thing. I'm like, why is it showing our Discord? It's showing our Discord because I'm an idiot. I love it when technical difficulties happen.
On that note, I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. Be back in like 30 seconds. My kitchen is literally 2 steps away.
I mean, while we're fixing it.
There we go. All right, sorry about that, folks. A week has passed since last our Rangers
We don't
fought.
have a Derek.
I see that. Derek!
You said 30 seconds! Why are you lying to me?
It's been more than 30 seconds, Derek! I love how everybody on the stream is probably just going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys?
Listen, we're the hot mess group. This is par for the course.
It really is. That's the sad part. This is nothing new. All right. Sorry, folks. We're just waiting on one more player to get back here. Enjoy some music while we wait.
Oh, here he is.
Never mind. Here I was all gonna hit play and everything. It was gonna be all cool and shit.
I've said it's a timing thing. We need to work on it.
This is what Gabe was trying to do 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Gabe's been trying to get us to fix our timing. Speaking of, Gabe, we're gonna pick up with you.
Okay.
It's been a week since last you all fought. We're gonna talk about what's happened over the last week, and then we're gonna pick up where you are at. Gabe, what were you doing over the last week?
Between part-time job at the restaurant and dance classes, he's been at the Animarium, having the Peacock Zord put him through some rigorous training.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly endurance training.
Okay.
To little avail.
Go ahead and give me athletics.
Okay.
With the upshift.
Okay. Ooh, that's only a 7.
Yeah, wow. That's with the upshift.
Yeah, the upshift made it a D4.
Yeah, that's fair. Your training's not going well. You're really in your head about the last fight, kind of overanalyzing it. And that one guy, who the hell was that? What the hell was that about?
Seriously.
Natasha, what have you been doing over the last week?
For me, besides college kicking her ass with that 2 intelligence, probably just fuck, I gotta shoot. Yeah, probably just working at the local elementary school like she usually does.
Okay. All right. What about you, Teddy? No sound, my man.
Teddy's been doing a lot of hard thinking. He's been trying to think how he can improve his suplexing.
Okay.
He's also been doing a lot of weight training, kind of at his parents' farm as best he can. He's basically trying to do the work of 2 men by himself.
Okay. All right. So from there, Derek, what have you been doing?
Depending on the answer to this question, roughly like what month, time of the year are we at? Would it be like middle of college or around, well, middle of semester around like spring break, fall break season? Relevant for my sister.
1 sec.
We were saying like September-ish, right? So probably.
Probably
I think
not quite.
So, 1 sec. I got the time. I actually have the actual timeline here. Calendars. Here we go. Perfect. 26th, 31st, 31st. It is going to be today is September 10th. It is
Cool.
September 10th, which is a Tuesday.
So he still
Or
he would have
Wednesday.
wrote his weekly letter. He'd be working, he'd be teaching all of his classes, both the free ones at the community center as well as the ones at his foster father's gym. And then he would have over the weekend gone back to his foster parents' house for their kind of weekly weekend dinner that they have, where he would have been grilled about his decision to still not be going to school or anything and just kind of be kicking around in his early 20s.
Okay.
Probably a little bit of like ranger training throughout the week, but
Okay.
nothing
give me
out
some,
of the ordinary.
Give me some athletics rolls for that. Give me a 1.
Sure.
Give me a 1.
No. Toosh. Guys, it's gonna be a bad night.
No, we're getting all the bad rolls out of the way early.
Yeah.
That's
It always balances out.
All right.
Get it out in the story episode.
Derek, what have you been up to the last? Oh, not Derek. Des, what have you been up to for the last week?
I was seeing what these ranger powers can do. During the day, I'm just kind of like hanging at the shelter, helping Adam out. But at night, well, first off, at the end of that fight, I'm immediately gonna go up to Gabe and be like, "Listen, we got our asses kicked out there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm thinking about doing some vigilante work. You want to try doing this and see if we can figure this thing out?"
You mean like crawling around dark alleys fighting muggers?
Yeah.
Des. As badass as that sounds, I think Adam and the others might have a tiny bit of a problem with that.
We got to figure out how to use these powers somehow, right? Like,
I'm pretty sure there was a clause in that little ranger contract about not escalating a confrontation, Bringing a magic fox sword to a back alley mugging kind of sounds like you're escalating just a little bit.
Listen, I'm not gonna do anything that I don't have to, but I mean, if they start beating me up, what am I gonna do?
Fine. I'll go with you just to watch your back. But if this goes wrong, it's over immediately.
Okay.
And if you go out of line, if you cross the line, I have to say something, right? Like, I want to believe you're gonna be this crazy badass and do only good, but
I know.
it's us, Des. We screw up. That's what we do.
Listen, it's just I want to feel like this is actually making a difference. Like, it's one thing to stop monsters and help the world or whatever, but there's still people out here suffering every day, and to not help them seems like a huge waste of these powers.
I get what you mean. Trust me, I understand where you're coming from. But you're walking a fine line here, buddy. And I like to be the happy yes man to everything. But this could go south really quick. And if it does, believe you me, I will pull you out of it without a second thought. Got it?
All right. Fine.
Okay. I got your back, buddy. And he heads out a fist for a fist bump.
What's that?
Are you not a fist bump guy? Are you a hugger? High fiver? Do we need a secret handshake?
Oh, sorry, that's just kind of old school. And he kind of gives you the fist bump.
Old school.
Jenks, you and me, Coke.
Meanwhile,
that's old school.
Asher's in the background going, "You sons of bitches."
New school is you floss together. That's what you do.
Damn kids.
All right. Speaking of Asher, what have you been up to the last week? No sound, my man. No audio.
Nothing.
Audio problems galore this episode. Woo! Oh, we lost him.
Up and he's
Lost
gone.
And all the tiles went wacky.
Yeah, that's what. That's what.
Oh,
happens.
hey, even I got messed up this time.
Oh.
Oh God, I hope that didn't fuck us over for the entire. It's supposed to just do it. It's supposed to do it alphabetically. So.
Oh.
Well, that's if he has his camera on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm now a cowboy.
Natasha has been moved.
I am now Gabe.
I am now Derek. This would be great if we ever do like a Freaky Friday body swap episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can keep all the emotional trauma.
Okay, Asher, your thing is turning green like you're talking, but I hear nothing.
Same, bud. Oh, got a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure my camera's working now, but...
Oh, Discord, never change.
You know what's sad? This is better than a lot of the other platforms. Imagine if we were using Skype.
Oh, God.
I'd rather not.
What about TeamSpeak? Let's all use TeamSpeak. I think that's way
Hey.
better.
We can go back to raid call.
Oh, we could use Ventrilo. How about that? Remember Ventrilo?
Oh, my
God,
God.
I haven't seen Vent in ages. Good Lord. I'm starting to feel old. Y'all make me feel old sometimes.
Aren't we like... Yeah, well, you and I are like some of the oldest here, so yeah.
Think you, me, and Asher are all pretty much like right around the same
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, you
And-
guys are the team dads with a
Band.
bunch of grown ass kids.
Well, you keep me young,
I
so
don't know what's going on now.
I mean, hey, I get paid to be a grown ass kid,
What?
and it translates.
hey, there you go.
Meanwhile, I've got a
What is
Power
your
Ranger
job?
helmet.
Are you like a sugar baby?
No, I just work with kids. I have to do kid projects and do kid sports. So
No, that's full segue into our life.
Yep.
We're literally gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go back into this live stream and cut so much of this out.
Oh
I'm
god,
sorry.
it's gonna be just
Oh.
like
Oh, bless your heart.
You're gonna be like a
Shut
real
up.
YouTuber. You're gonna take like 3 hours of footage and just chop it to shit.
yes, you, the people watching live, only you will know these trade secrets.
Hmm.
It'll be another episode. I have to like. I've been trying to not do that because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
On this episode of Behind the Rangers.
Episode of just an hour missing.
That's it. Next episode's tagline. Will the Rangers have? Will the live stream have technical difficulties this round?
I mean, is that really building suspense if we know it's going to happen?
true.
We didn't. We haven't had any in the last 2 episodes.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Other than my internet problems, and that was fairly minor.
Yeah. No.
What, AJ?
We got Asher, whose camera just straight up isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Wait. We got spinny dots at least, and everything's in the right place again.
And
All right.
audio.
Hey,
Hey.
You love to see it.
To answer your question there, Asher, it's we're trying to figure out what's going on with you. What have you been doing for the last week?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, just as a teacher, I've been teaching on the weekdays. Then in the afternoons and the weekends, just trying to figure everything out. Seeing that I've got, having talked to Adam about, the blue spectrum and the white spectrum, and wondering, yes, I've taken on this leadership role, but what have I really been doing? What kind of effort have I really put in to reflect, warranting, to reflect being worthy of that kind of position, especially after the last couple of battles, not really doing anything to, in Asher's opinion, to have earned it, and also trying to do the best that I can with this group of people, this group of kids in Asher's eyes that are the complete opposite, and he's trying to guide them, but he knows that he's the outcast of the outcasts. So connecting with them has been definitely difficult, but he's tried as much as he can.
All right. You over the last week, Gabe, you've been doing your stuff. At night, you've been kind of going out with and Asher. While you're not talking, could you mute just because it's still picking up that background noise?
Mm-hmm.
You've been picking up a lot of extra things.
Mm-hmm.
It is Wednesday the 10th in September. The start of the local theater tryouts.
Oh God.
You This year, they're doing Prince and the Pauper.
Okay.
And your rival is being slotted as the shoe-in for the lead role.
Of course he is, because basic.
You and he are standing on stage opposite each other. Each of you trying out for the same lines. Go ahead and give me a performance roll.
Okay.
Which is under social, if I remember correctly.
Yep. 14. Bad, not bad.
Oof. The first round, even you have to admit that he did better than you. His nerves weren't shining quite as through as yours. Give me one more.
One more performance?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this time I'm going to put a little more stank on it, give a little bit more emphasis on certain lines, a little bit more of like my own take on the character.
Roll with an upshift.
Well, I already clicked, but it's a 24.
I'll take it. You almost out of pure spite, you're just like, I'm gonna win this. And you just kind of give him that look like, yeah, watch this. And you go over the line, and the director stands up and is just going nuts. Bravo, bravo, sir, bravo. That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I do a bit of like a flourishy bow. It's like, oh, very high praise coming for a director of your caliber. Thank you so much for letting me audition. And then side eye at Mr. Whoever.
Your rival, whose name is Jerry. He's just Jerry. You always hated that guy. Just Jerry. Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry looks at you and goes, ever the drama queen.
Well, Gary, maybe when they're casting for a Curly in Oklahoma, that'll be your part.
I'll never understand how it is you get any part. You can't even remember a person's name. It's Jerry, Gabriel.
Oh, it's okay. I know your name, Gary.
And he just storms off. The director is just giving you both a look like, oh my god, what did I just watch? And
I don't know why he thinks I'm the drama queen after that.
All right, Gabriel. Callbacks will be next week. But let me let you in on a little shoe-in. You're a shoe-in for the pod.
Well, I mean, I don't want to do a humble brag or anything, but this is such a fun part. I'm really, really actually legitimately looking forward to it. Any idea who I might be playing opposite?
I believe the opposite is going to be Kara.
Interesting. Okay. Good choice. But I can't wait to see how callbacks go.
Yes. Me as well. We'll see you next week.
I very much look forward to it. Thank you so much. And as soon as he walks out the room, he's doing like this little happy dance. Got the part, slay that audition, fuck yeah!
Hey, it's the wacky wavy inflatable arm flailing tube-man guy.
Meanwhile, across town.
I will never live that down.
Meanwhile, across town, Natasha, you're sitting at your desk working on some paperwork when your boss comes in. Natasha, do you have the report on the Amethyst kid?
Yeah, right here. She moves like the papers for like probably like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like things we give elementary schoolers so they don't bother a teacher for a couple of minutes. And she just like hands it to him like, yeah, here you go.
Starts flipping through. Man, has this kid really been acting like this in class?
Yeah, there've been problems with other students, problems with teachers and general authority and figure in general. Sorry, um, I don't know what's going on.
I think it's their dad got arrested last week. The sister 2 grades up is also acting up too. The timeline fits. I think we need to call the mother. You
Are you sure there's maybe we can before we get their mother involved? They're in a very stressful situation. Their parent has just left the household. We have no clue what happened while he was still there. Maybe we talk to the kids beforehand and see what they need before we put more undue stress on
maybe you're right. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
them.
I'll give you an upshift on this one.
I think it. That's
Ooh.
a 5.
She sits there and she thinks about it. She goes, I don't know. Protocol dictates that we should be calling the mom. We're not really. We'd be overstepping the school rules. You know that. I don't disagree with you, but we can't. If you get caught violating school rules again,
I know, I
Principal
understand,
Deacon is going to have a
but
fit.
I'm willing to put my internship on the line for this. I think if we just give those kids a chance to figure it out themselves before we have no, their mom is in a very stressful position. We have no clue what happens if we tell her the wrong thing and what happens when those kids aren't with us.
Mom's in a stressful position. That's an understatement of the century. Their mom's the freaking mayor.
I don't. Okay, don't know that part, but
Yeah. She is on
okay.
a political tirade right now because her ex-husband has been getting arrested every other week for drunk driving.
At this point, just take away the man's license. I'm just.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
Do we want to get Mayor Amethyst involved?
maybe we try to help the kids themselves before we cause a political upheaval, or get our funding slashed because we got our kids in trouble.
I don't think we'd get her kids in trouble. Like, they've both been acting up, sure, but nothing they've done is terrible. Oh, here's that report you asked for on on the parks kid.
Thanks.
you open it up and you see there's a new girl in your class who you're helping out, who you've been helping out with, and she's one of the ones that you've been assigned to directly. Her name is Christine Park, Adam's daughter. As you open it up, you see she's always really well behaved until someone tries to bully her, and then they may or may not be put in the hospital, which I imagine would cause a little bit of a chuckle out of you.
She just writes down work on conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. Meanwhile, Natasha's in the background thinking, "Girl after my own heart."
Man, you can't tell the kid to keep hitting them. Yeah,
That's true.
I have to turn my notes into my boss eventually.
All right.
Keep like looking through her caseload, right? Taking notes on her students and her load, and probably pulling the two Amethyst kids into a peer meeting with me, them, and the kids they've been fighting.
Okay, we'll pick back up on that here in a bit. Derek, we're gonna scene jump over to you.
Yo.
You're standing in front of you're standing in front of your class, in front of your 2:00 class, your final class of the day. What are you teaching about?
Adults or kids?
This is the adult class.
Cool. So in the adult class, we're going to be going over very direct takedowns right now. So when someone comes with a cane, stick, or knife, how to react to that initial strike.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
Since I'm teaching my martial arts, can I do martial arts instead?
No, because you're teaching it. You're not performing martial arts. You're teaching martial arts, which is more verbal than it is physical.
There.
You're explaining what you're doing as you're doing it. That's a performance.
Nice. Even with the snag, I got a 14.
Hey, you know your martial arts, man. This is your first time teaching some of the adults. You're working with some trauma victims. It's mostly a women's class. You do have another female instructor to just kind of help you there. Some of these girls have been in bad situations, so they're wanting to learn how to defend themselves. And you don't know everybody's trauma, but you do know one, because she opened up about it last time, and she's taking it really seriously. So you're trying to make sure that you live up to that, and your instruction goes well. It goes really well. In fact, everyone's picking it up. The gal who you approached you last time smiles at you and just thanks you. She says she's starting to feel safer again, which is kind of makes you smile a little bit, because that's the whole point of doing this, right? You want people to be able to defend themselves. You're as the class clears out, your assistant comes in, and she goes, "Wow, that was a really good class. You really you really know your stuff, huh?"
I hope so. I've been doing this since I was 15. But honestly, it's just really nice to really be helping some of these women. Some of them I've been through a lot, so it makes me really happy that a lot of them are coming along so nicely and feeling more confident in themselves.
Well, that's what this whole class is about. Giving people their power back.
Absolutely. One class at a time.
Yeah. Um, give me a perception check.
Alertness. Not specialized. Hold on. I can re-roll the one once per scene with my tragic background capable of anything.
Yep. Give it a try.
Not much better, but not a fumble.
No, it puts you at a 13, which is enough. Out the window, you see this squirrely looking, just angry looking dude come barreling down at one of your students. And what you see is one of the most beautiful things you will ever see. They start arguing, and you get ready to, as you start to make that motion towards it, you see her straight lift this man off her. He swings at her. She grabs him, throws him over her shoulder onto his back, and she just says, "Don't you ever touch me again," and walks away. And
So Derek, he's kind of smiling right now. He's still walking towards the door, but he's elated.
She immediately walks back into the. She turns, walks away, but she comes right back in and she goes, "Hey, is it okay if I call the cops?"
Yeah, go ahead and stay inside. You can go back to the changing rooms. And I just kind of walk out the door to where the guy is.
The guy's just kind of sitting there. He sits up and he goes, "Ow."
Yeah, I'll teach you. I don't ever want to see you come near my students or this school again. You'll get a lot worse than what she just did.
He stands up and he goes, "Yeah, she's not worth it anyway," and starts storming off. And you're as you kind of come back in the building after making sure that he's actually gone, the cops pull up, and that's where we're gonna change scenes.
Right.
Des, it's the night before. We're gonna rewind in time a little bit here. It's the night before. You're on a stakeout. You're trying to make sure you look right. You're
Ski mask on. I don't want anybody to ID me if I have to morph or anything like that.
you as you kind of come in, you're spending most of your time morphed, just trying to get that sense for it. Plus, it kind of gives you that hidden features anyway, even if you are being a little extra paranoid. You do see someone trying to break into a jewelry store up across the way. You go to intervene and you intercept them. Gabe, you're with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you give me some might roll Give me 3 straight attack rolls.
Okay. It's gonna be finesse for me.
Yep.
I'll do a might roll.
Nice. Oh, here's all my good rolls.
All right.
15, 18, 16.
Okay, and then Des has only rolled once.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned we're gonna rely on Gabe in combat again.
All right.
You really requested for the person with 2 health to be your partner. What in crime?
I was
Be
taking
fair,
the
he has
person
a gun.
who also. I was taking the person who also got their ass kicked, who I thought might be most willing to do this. Jesus.
You guys
13, 21, 21.
you stop the robbery. And you each learn how big of a difference in strength there is between an unmorphed person and a morphed person. You hurt these guys bad. They're all in the hospital, and you weren't even really trying to hurt them.
This is what I was talking about, Des. Look, okay, first off, yes, you were badass, and I commend you for that. You were extremely badass. That good 1-2 punch, great. But I'm pretty sure you fractured you fractured that one guy's forearm by gripping it.
We just gotta learn better control. That's it. You know.
No, we have to stop. You have to stop this, Des. This is not what our powers are for.
Both of you give me alertness.
Are we making the Red Wild Force Ranger actor incident like canon in our story? But
Why
with
could it, where were these rolls? Where were these rolls last time we
Thinking
played?
red.
23. Rolled like a 13 when I had a D10.
hey, there it is.
There it is. There's the shit.
Des,
roll.
you're very focused on Gabe right now. Gabe,
Listen,
you see about 50 feet back, another person's approaching, because you guys both haven't actually left the scene yet. You see someone starting to come around the corner, and even at night, you can tell exactly who that is. It's Merrick.
Well, fuck.
He hasn't seen you yet. How do you react?
Okay, I think I'm going to bring my small town roots perk into play. Once per session when making a choice, you may ask your GM which option is better for you. So, were this, one of those video games where you make moral choices. Choice A, do I whisk Des away out of sight so Merrick doesn't see what we do us? Or B, do I follow through with what I said I do and tell right away as soon as I felt this got out of hand?
In the back of your mind, you feel a large pull towards telling.
Okay, I thought there was another part to that.
Nope.
Okay.
It's that it could go either way. It's very 50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I'm going to clasp my hands on Dez's shoulders and keep him looking at me. Des, we weren't given our powers to be vigilantes. We weren't given our power, And I get you wanting to make, and I'm stalling for time basically. And I get
At this point, as you're stalling for time,
Mhm.
you've basically locked eyes with Merrick, and Merrick does
Mhm.
not look happy.
I didn't think he would.
He comes up behind you and is looking at the guys all groaning on the ground. The one guy is like literally got blood coming out of his mouth. What the hell did you do?
Des, you want to tell him?
Des, you heard that voice and you I'm caught.
What? What did we do? We stopped a robbery.
Merrick, I'm sorry. I tried to. I didn't want him to do it alone.
Whose idea was this?
It was mine.
He looks down. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Get them doctors.
Right away. Power down.
It's at that point you need to make a athletics roll, Gabe.
Athletics roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
20.
you see his you feel from the back of your you feel something whoosh by as you kind of like duck, and over the top it's Merrick's kind of like ready to like basically like reach around the back of your head, and you just kind of nope. And he goes, don't, at least you're wearing masks.
Well, I can't call an ambulance when I'm in a ranger outfit. That would be so bad for PR.
Who says
And for
you
the
have
record,
to
he
show-
he just has like a big pink hoodie and like a grease paint stick over his eyes.
Both of you get out of here. I'll get them the doctor. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right. Well, I hope you're happy, Des.
Just be glad I don't. You guys will be lucky. You guys are lucky I'm not going to tell Adam about this because he would lose his fucking head.
Okay.
Des, you and I need to have a serious conversation about this. This is not okay. Meanwhile, Des, in the back of your mind, you hear Swiper's voice. Oh, you got busted! You,
It wasn't by a 8-year-old girl.
what? What the fuck's that mean?
Pop culture's lost on him.
Oh, I get it now.
Swiper has no idea what you're talking about. He's genuinely confused. 8-year-old girl. He's starting. You can kind of hear him in the back of your mind, like, what? What?
Is Des even old enough to have remembered Dora the Explorer?
No.
They just had a movie. A movie just came out like 2 years ago, I thought.
Yeah, but doesn't mean he really.
True, I guess.
Yeah, no.
He would have been prime age for Dora the Explorer.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
know. Des is what, 20?
19.
19 in 2026? Dora was like early 2000s. I don't think it was like 2005, 6. on.
On
They
then.
ran those Nick Jr. shows for a long time.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sure
Yeah, it
did.
was. Dora was definitely on. I had a younger sister who would be this age now. She watched Dora.
All right. Des, the next day, after Gabe's audition, you meet, because Gabe, your audition was like basically first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You both meet back at the Animarium, and Merrick has taken you to a different part of the island than you guys are used to seeing. You guys are standing in a cave, and he's kind of sitting there holding his hand, and he goes, "What were you guys thinking last night? Explain it to me."
How else are we supposed to be prepared for a monster attack if we don't know what our powers can do? And I thought the best way to do that was to try and clean up the city, at least from a street level.
The problem with using the ranger powers for that is it might just be easiest to show you. Wild access! And he morphs. And he says, "I'm going to hit you once. And I've called the Deer Zord over to heal you afterwards. Because it's going to hurt."
Oh, corporal punishment, really? Can't he just write lines or something?
He looks at it, he goes,
Hit the kid.
"I'm thousands of years old. What do you expect?"
Okay, yeah, fair.
You can only teach what he's been taught, so I mean, it's kind of fair.
And he smacks you square in the chest. Give me a conditioning roll.
Ooh. See those a lot.
It'd be the same thing as a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Want to try to use a
That's-
story point to re-roll that? Or?
That's bad, man. That's like two
That's
crit
a
fails
lot
in
of
one.
damage.
No.
Oh god.
We're gonna start combat, and he's gonna have like 1 health.
Beat the children to death?
What's your total toughness unmorphed?
Oh no.
Oh
14?
goody.
14?
14.
Oh shit.
You take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
It fractures your ribs straight away. You can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just kind of, oh, that was stupid. The Deer Zord kind of pokes its head, and a beam of light hits you, and then you get healed up. But you feel the effects of that. How does Des feel about that?
Getting hit?
About having his ribs broken by a ranger to prove a point.
What am I back home? Is he my dad? Is that because that's what happened to me if I got out of line back home?
He goes, "Look, I'm just I wanted to give you the effect of what you did to those guys. I'm not
No,
trying
I
to..."
get it. I'm an idiot. And then he just pushes away from Merrick and walks off.
Merrick goes, "That's not..." Merrick kind of looks awkwardly at Gabe and goes,
Maybe
"Did I..."
maybe I should talk to him.
Maybe. I was trying to prove a point that the powers are dangerous to use like that. He could kill somebody without meaning to. The best way to learn to control your powers as a ranger is to train with other rangers. There's a simulator for that.
Yeah,
It's being
yeah, I
installed
know.
tomorrow.
Look, I think Dez has a lot of baggage that he hasn't shared with everybody, and I think part of this whole situation is unpacking that baggage. And that's going to take time.
Maybe you're right.
Give him give him a little bit of time to cool off, and I'll see if I can talk to him. But trust me, he got the message. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna kick his ass myself.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to apologize to him later. I'm just trying to teach him just trying to show him what the effect was.
Oh no, I think he got the effect. I just think it had a couple unforeseen effects. And he just like mentally thinks the peacock. Why am I the serious one all of a sudden?
Oh, honey, I don't know, but this is weird. You're supposed to be happy and go lucky, but you're the responsible one in this scenario?
Yeah. Opposite day. Weird.
And that's where
You
we
know-
have a screen cut from there. We cut over to Asher. Asher, it's like 1:00 in the afternoon. On that Wednesday, what are you doing?
I am probably. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I should be in class then, teaching. Just
Okay.
yeah, I'd be in class teaching at that point.
All right. What are you teaching?
I mean, I'm dealing with troubled youth as well, but mine's more the older kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of my background, so they've got me working with the older kids, and just how to deal with kind of the issues that have arisen, that have caused them to be here. So just kind of helping them along with that.
Okay. Class kind of comes to an end, and he goes. One of the kids comes up to you, Mr. Gray. Can I talk to you?
Of course.
The young man in front of you is Josiah West, and he's an orphan. His parents have, no one's really sure kind of what happened to them, and one of the very few aliens at this school. He's from the planet. He's from a planet whose name you can't pronounce. And kind of looks up to you, and he kind of goes, Mr. Gray, the home said they're going to be kicking me out, so I won't be in your class anymore. I just wanted you to know.
This this troubles Asher. He's like, when did you find out about this?
Last night. And he just kind of has like this deadpan look about it. he's being very matter of fact about it. It's just like this is a fact of his life at this point.
How long did they give you?
Till tomorrow night. I have to spend tomorrow getting everything out.
Yeah, Asher's not fond of this at all because that's not one, that's not enough time, and two, they can't really. I mean, I know that at certain times kids will age out of the orphanage, um, but he definitely is. He's been advocating against that kind of behavior or that kind of policy, just because it usually causes more harm than good for these kids. So
And
he.
and one of the things that probably only really Asher is actually really aware of is that there is a large push among the higher ups, especially those that are old enough to remember the Wild Force Rangers and old enough to have been around and seen so many alien invasions and some of them are old enough. Some of the older guys are old enough to remember being kids when the Machine Empire attacked Angel Grove. So there's unfortunately kids like Josiah are really experience some semblance of prejudice. They're it's not as bad as it used to be when aliens first started moving and really started being accepted here. But unfortunately, there are some people within very high positions of power that are that are almost going out of their way to make these kids' lives difficult for no real reason.
Yeah, like you said, there's a stigma to it, and so he's definitely seen it, and like you said, he's old enough to recall those times. Um, and he tells Josiah, he's like, I don't know what all I can do, but let me see what I can do to help, keep you in this class, keep you somewhere where you're going to be safe. And just let me know if anything happens. You know where to find me. Um, and I feel like in this kind of situation, he probably would have had these kids have his like contact information
Mm-hmm.
just in case something happens. It's like, you know how to reach me. So if anything happens, let me know, and I'll try to reach out to who I can, who I know, to see what we can do to get you in a good situation. Maybe even keep you in the class, and we'll go from there.
We'd lose.
Oh no.
Natasha bounced on accident.
Oh.
Boing, 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 boing. I was like, oh shit, did I say something? Did I get in trouble?
Right.
You take the moment and the kid kind of sits there and he goes, thanks, Mr. Gray. Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow. And kind of as he leaves, he kind of passes your direct supervisor, and he kind of looks down, and she goes, "What was wrong with him? Is he okay?"
I explained the situation to the supervisor, and kind of go over our options. I know there are some things, but kind of see if there's anything that I may have missed policy-wise that we can do to help him out.
unfortunately, that the orphanage that he's at is being funded directly she just kind of she seems hung up on it because she's making that like she's almost hesitant to tell you what it is, because you're not super familiar with his living situation.
Right.
You work with kids from a number of orphanages, and you work with kids from another. There's 3 within 5 city blocks of here. A lot of kids, a lot of refugees, and a lot of things have kind of fled to Turtle Cove as a quiet, safe haven. Because even though there are some people in power, the majority of your most everyday people, they're very accepting, very forgiving, and most of them are really, one of the things that's always been great as far as you remember about Turtle Cove is people are always willing to help no matter who you are or where you came from.
Right. So at this point, I guess Asher would ask, since his supervisor seems so hesitant to let him know who's running the orphanage or where all the funding comes from. Asher's kind of like, so what can we do legally to keep him off the streets? Is there any kind of I totally blanked on the word. Basically, where you not so much take a kid in, but you're I had the word like 5 seconds ago.
Foster.
Not fostering, but being
Surrogate? No, that's something else.
basically
That's a
it's less
completely different concept there, my friend.
yeah. It's less where a person is doing it, but more of like an entity, like a
Like a
business.
Award?
group home?
I get award would be pretty close.
Are there any like grants or anything? Is that what you're looking for? You're looking for alternative programs, right?
Alternative programs, like when a student is coming from a foreign country and someone is
Oh, like a boarding school type situation?
Kind of looking for a host family.
to a degree, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess hosting or something like that.
Okay.
If there's something that the school can do to,
She goes, the one funding it is former police chief Dick. And that sets you off. Decker just recently moved out of his police chief position, and he's the one he's the direct reason why your partner is no longer alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's the reason for your trauma. You both argued against going into that house, but he would not say. He was determined to get some sort of special award. And your partner, being the good cop that she was, followed orders.
I'm gonna go.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that really sets you off. You know that man hates aliens more than anything.
Yeah, definitely some ulterior motives there.
Yeah. So you're going to look for Adam? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of grit my teeth, thank my supervisor for the information, and I'm gonna go find Adam to see if there's anything, because Adam runs the community center, right?
Yep.
Trying to remember all that.
Yep.
But yeah, see if there's anything kind of there that he may be able to assist with.
Okay. Now we're gonna cut back to Dez. Gabe, I imagine you were kind of chasing him down afterwards.
Yes, but not in a great hurry. I think I have enough sense that he needs a minute to cool off before, otherwise it's just gonna be too much.
Okay.
So
let's do this. Dez, where did you go afterwards? Like, where did you immediately kind of take off to?
This is still on the Animarium, right?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can be on or off the Animarium. Where are you going after that incident?
Good question. I think I'd literally go to the Fox Zord's like den. So I imagine there's like a little alcove under one of the mountain peaks, and I'm just kind of like sitting there, kind of feeling that bruise. It's not far from where Natasha had kicked me a couple days before, so it's still like a little. It's sensitive anyway.
Yeah. Swiper watches you walk in and kind of lays down and cocks his head a little bit. You okay?
I'll be fine.
If you say so. You know I can feel your pain, right?
Yeah.
It's not comfortable. I don't understand your feelings. And Swipers, you can tell that it's been a very long time since Swipers talked to anyone. Because he's super awkward about it.
Yeah.
As you and Swiper kind of sit in silence, Swiper just kind of goes, "Well, I'm here." Then we're gonna cut back over and we're gonna jump back to Teddy. Teddy, you've been more since moving away from home. You found work just outside of town on a local farm. It's hard work, but it's nothing you're not used to. The one sec. I need to remember the name of this character. You're working for an older Latino gentleman. He's a big dude, like big dude. And he's still like, you're pretty sure he still outworks you every day. He's just big, tough, and it shows. You work you work for you're working on the Delgado range. Most of what it does, most of what they do is they cultivate a lot of flowers and a lot of vegetables to be sold at local farmers markets and stuff. They have a lot of greenhouses, and in fact, that's where we find you. Is you're working with Mr. Delgado there. You're working for Mr. Delgado there. I'm sorry, but Natasha's screen just keeps bouncing on mine, and I don't know why.
It's kicking me out because it can't detect me saying anything, so it thinks I'm inactive.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Horrible.
Man, you know what that's saying? It's saying that you just need to have more witty one-liners.
You do.
Yeah. You got to be a more active peanut gallery participant.
There's a quota, guys.
I'm trying to be respectful, man.
No, you do. It's just messing with me. I'm like, what the hell?
Like
it's
an
always
HOA charter.
it's been at like the last time it was like the first time it was like right at that pivotal moment where we started to discuss discrimination, and I'm like, oh shit, did I fuck up?
No, you're good.
Now it's like we're talking about flowers and vegetables and shit. And
he's like,
well, burger.
Vegetables, fuck off.
I am quite literally the opposite of a vegan. I only eat meat. I don't know what a vegetable looks like.
No,
I the lines at carrots, actually. It wasn't in the consent sheet, but
fucking carrots, man. That's a story point. I'll give you a story point for that because that's fucking funny.
Man, if I knew everyone got my origin ability, I would have taken a different origin. Kidding.
Back to what I was saying here. You're working with Mr. Delgado on kind of moving some wood, kind of from one section of a greenhouse to another to put together some new boxes, because a lot of the boxes that he has are starting to rot away. A lot of his flower boxes. He's got a bunch of raised beds. So you're in the process of building new ones and moving dirt and transplanting and stuff like that. How are you feeling about it at this moment? You're just working away, and you've only just started working with Mr. Delgado like last week.
As I'm working with him, Teddy's like, Mr. Delgado, as he is like vigorously moving, trying to just be faster, work harder than him. Yes. How is it that you are able to do more work than me when I'm trying my hardest? What's your secret? How do you get to be so strong?
He kind of looks down and he looks at your wrist and he goes, I just work out a lot and a lot of hard work, a lot of practice. He kind of locks onto your wrist a little bit and he goes, what's that?
Oh, it's just a watch. It's a real fancy watch.
Make a deception check. I'm going to give you a downshift because that was terrible.
This is why I love Teddy.
I don't really have deception. I have persuasion. Do I do that?
It'd be an auto fail if it's a downshift and has nothing in the skill.
Oh, I do have deception. Never mind.
It's on the sheet. I was going to say it's there.
Okay.
But if you have a 0.
No, I do not have a 0. I have a D2.
Oh.
Ooh.
Now you're just down to a D0.
Yes.
But not with a snag.
Yeah. So it's Just a straight
Wait.
D20.
It says I have an auto snag from the skill value because it's 0. So do I roll with a snag?
No,
thought you said you had
no.
a
You're
D2.
if you have a D2 and you're going
Okay.
do a downshift, it's still a straight roll. You just don't get any
Okay.
additives because you are trained in it. Yeah. He looks and he goes, that looks an awful lot like a morpher.
How do you know what that is? And I mean, no, it's not. I mean,
He goes,
We've been rangers for like 4 days, and his cover is already blind.
He broke the first cardinal rule within like a minute of talking with somebody.
how do you know what that is? Like that gives it away. He just goes, "You're not a real good liar, are you, Teddy?"
no, I'm not.
It's okay. I wasn't either.
Were you a... Teddy looks around. Were you a Power Ranger too?
Yep. I was Wild Force Black.
Right.
I'm retired now. This is pretty much all I do these days.
When you started, were you good at it?
No. Not even a little bit. Why?
Because I want to be better at it. We had a scuffle about a week ago, and I was trying my hardest to,
Yeah, I saw that on
protect, and I couldn't.
I saw that on the news. You squadron types are a bit different. I'm not sure what. How long you guys been Rangers? Did you guys get any training at all in advance, or did you guys have to basically go straight to it?
We kind of went straight to it. I mean, I used to be a wrestler, so that's kind of where I was like, okay, if I have to fight stuff, I can simply rely on that. It worked for a while, and I did pretty all right, but eventually it just didn't work. And when it didn't work, a lot of my friends got into real deep shit, and I want to make sure that they don't get into any deep shit.
You want to learn how to defend yourself better, huh? And defend others, huh?
I want to help them. I mean, they all have like really cool abilities. Like Gabe is able to shoot a whole lot. Derek is able to slash a whole lot. Dez has a big sword. Asher has a sword and a shield. Natasha just kind of kicks ass. And then there's me. I could just hit something real hard. That's not that impressive. They can all hit stuff real hard. I feel like I'm dragging them down. And I just want to be stronger. So the one thing that I'm good at can help them.
That's a story point. I'm gonna give you a story point for that because that was pretty good, dude. He goes, come with me.
I kind of look around. Are we going somewhere secret? Should I be good at keeping this a secret?
We're going into the house.
Okay.
He leads you out the door and kind of goes around and you were led down the path and up to the house, and none of the there's there's basically two other workers there. One's his wife, and the other's just another worker like you. He leads you inside, and he tells you to sit down at the table, and he goes, "I'll be right back." And he comes back out, and he's got a box about yay big. Not super big, but big enough. And he opens it up, and in it, you see a small, not really big anyway, axe. It's what you see is the black bison axe in front of you. And he goes, "This is pretty much all that remains of my old powers. Why don't you take it?"
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
If this is something that you cherish, I mean, you kept it in this box. Box looks real dusty. It must have been up there a while. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
should keep it.
he
It's
goes,
yours.
he goes, "It was. And technically it belongs to the black bison."
If you're saying I should have it, I'm not one to say no to a gift, especially my boss. I'll take it, but on one condition: when I'm done with it, I'm gonna give it back.
It's fair enough. Use it to defend your friends.
All right, it's a deal. And then Teddy sticks out his hand.
Mr. Delgado takes your hand back and shakes it.
I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can.
Make a might check.
Oh goody. Oh goody, oh goody, oh goody. I'm very good at these.
The fact that you had to reassure us does not make me feel good.
Not the worst. But I'm gonna get smoked real quick.
Yeah, he rolled 24.
Oh, he just like ripped your whole fucking arm off.
You've got some fractured knuckles there, buddy.
It hurts. You try to squeeze it, but I mean, this man's hands are giant. He may be a Latino gentleman, but the kind of looks Samoan sometimes just by how big he is. And your hand is a little, like, it throbs a little bit, but it's not permanent. As you pick up the axe, the rope around your belt loop draws out and starts to wrap around it in a circular pattern. The axe kind of grows and dangles and solidifies. It turns in, it merges with your whip, your lasso, and becomes something a little bit more intense.
A lasso with an axe on the end of it.
Well, kind of like a mace, with that. It's more like a chain mace at this point now. Yeah,
Like a flail?
a little bit. Yeah. little bit heavier than a flail, though. So it we'll work out how that works mechanically, but it shouldn't be too different from what it was originally.
Okay.
But it looks cool.
Oh yes.
And
I
it
like
has
things
the
that
ability
look cool.
to. It seems like it can change form. Like one form is almost like a hammer.
Hmm.
The other is basically, it really mixes well. So gives you that smacking power.
All right.
And as you do that, the green energy from your morpher wraps out, absorbs it, and pulls it in. And you feel a little bit stronger. A little bit more confident.
Well, Mr. Delgado, I really can't thank you enough. If you don't mind, because all this is so new to me and sounds like you went through it. If I have any more questions or concerns, do you mind if I just talk to you?
Not at
I
all.
kind of moved away from my family. Don't have a whole lot of very close people. So,
Not at all. More than welcome to come over and chat anytime.
thank you.
Des.
Now, I think I
Go ahead.
should get back to work.
Yep. Des, we pick back up with you.
Yeah.
You've been sitting there for about an hour. And Gabe, that's where you come in.
I walk in the fox den. Well, you sure picked a good brooding spot, and I toss him a nice pack. Put that on your ribs. Please put that on your ribs. I don't know how good magical deer. I don't know how good magical deer healing is. That's a tongue twister. Magical deer healing is. But I find ice is always helpful.
Des takes off his jacket and sort of tosses it in a corner. Pulls up his shirt, and as he does, Gabe kind of sees, like, obviously the bruise where Merrick hit him, but it's definitely a lot bigger than you would have expected, as though this spot has probably been hit a couple times before.
I have a feeling there's more to this story than you feel bad about Merrick punching you, or that you feel bad about your good intentions your good intentions turning out badly.
It's whatever.
Do you want to talk about it? I surely, I assure you, I am capable of being serious when I need to, much like Elle Woods herself. But I'm running a tally. If you overuse the serious Gabe, you're in trouble. But if you need me to, I can be serious.
No, you won't just go blabbing to Merrick again.
I wasn't blabbing to Merrick. I was concerned for you. And maybe that was a bad judgment call. Maybe I should have tried to deal with it myself, but no, I won't tell Merrick. Whatever you tell me and here, what stays in the fox den stays in the fox den.
That seems. We gotta come up with a better name for this place, because that just seems very, like, wrong. I don't know. Just
We'll workshop
name,
it.
just yeah.
Viper's stash. We'll keep going with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Swiper's like, y'all are weird.
Barry.
Yeah, I left home because I didn't measure up. So
Measure up to what exactly? Because, like, when I blow an audition, I didn't measure up, but I don't completely uproot my life for it. You didn't measure up to what exactly?
I didn't measure up to my potential. I was always a smart kid, but all my teachers wrote the same thing. He doesn't apply himself. He doesn't make an effort to make friends. So even though I pulled straight A's, all my parents would focus on were those negative comments.
That's
So
a
I
lot of
started, yeah.
that's a lot of pressure.
So in high school,
As you're talking, Swiper kind of nuzzles into you a little bit. Just which is kind of cold because he's still giant. He's still a giant thing made of metal.
right. I imagine he has like a hot breath, but it's like still not great.
It's not. It's not. But the point is, you like you get the point. You're kind of like,
all right.
Oh, Zord cuddles.
Peacock like sticks his head in the thing. I won't give you Zord
Look,
cuddles.
I'm not sharing my story with everybody, so if
Okay.
you could just back the hell up.
Okay, but buddy, give me like, I don't know, 45 minutes, and we'll schedule some head scritches. Okay.
Okay. Then Peacock just kind of prances down and his tail's way open.
He still needs to get to know serious Gabe. He knows regular Gabe, but please continue, Des.
So high school, figured if I couldn't be the best of the best, why not be worst of the worst?
That's where you got into trouble.
That's where I got into trouble. My parents decided that clearly the verbal torture wasn't enough, so made sure to hit me where you couldn't see the bruises.
Des. I hope you know that you didn't deserve that. No matter how bad you were being, you didn't deserve the people who were supposed to be taking care of you to treat you like that.
Why do you think I left? I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Plus, Buffalo, New York is really cold.
Yeah, it's the lake effect, right? The lake effects now? Okay, they're not important. Not important focusing. And is that why you're trying so hard now? Because you think
Adam gave me a shot. He's the first person to not see me as a disappointment. So,
well,
Adam didn't give you the shot. Swiper looks over at you. I chose you.
at work exactly.
suppose it's time you knew. And Swiper stands up. And then lowers his head. Get on, both of you. There's something you need to see.
Whoa. 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 Are we sure? Like, is it cool? Des, I'm not gonna like ride on. I know Fox is your
He
sword.
just pushes like Gabe onto.
Okay, we're doing this. This is a thing. Awesome.
You are each, he walks out. He walks out and he starts. You guys are both kind of like laying on his head and
Yeah, we
two little
kind of like have a grip of.
Well, basically,
grip of his ear, like yeah.
Basically, there's handles that kind of the metal like lifts up almost and materializes handles where you guys can actually just kind of grab on.
I just imagine we were gripping ears or something. Like just
this is more user friendly.
Yeah.
You are taken to a part of the animarium on the very far end of the island, on one of the fins. It's at the end of it, you see a large arch. It's broken in half. He's running towards it. To the point where it looks like he's going to run straight off the edge of the animarium. Damn it, Derek! At least leave your camera on.
No, anyway, I'm Dez. Yep, keep going.
Yep, me and Dez are just riding along. It's fine.
As you guys are, it looks like you're going to jump right off the edge of the animarium. And in fact, that's what you do. A bridge appears of rainbow. And it keeps going. Fox runs for about 45 minutes through the air. And takes you to above the clouds. And as he starts to descend down the clouds, you see a desolate area, a dead wasteland. Long since abandoned by both humanity and animal alike. Fox lands on the ground and lowers his head.
What is this place?
This once was the center of the Animarian kingdom.
What happened?
The orcs did. Your eyes, as your eyes flit over the landscape, Fox sits and he goes, the reason we savage lords were exiled from the Animarium is because we didn't measure up. Most of us.
You weren't.
Most of us were
Go ahead,
too
sorry.
young. Most of us were young and impulsive At this point, a large shadow lands over, and your Zord and Gabe, you look up and you see your Zord, and it lands in a more serious tone than you've ever heard out of it. Fox, what are you thinking? And Fox looks over. They have a right to know. They have a right to know what we did.
It's okay, buddy. If you were too young or not strong enough, that wasn't your fault. You didn't deserve to get kicked off your floaty island for it.
We were too young. We were too strong. We were too young. We were young. We were too young. We weren't strong enough. And we were too impulsive. We, us savage Zords, started the war with the Ords.
Oh.
Things had always been tense between us and them. They had their own kingdom once. Not far from here. We destroyed it. Because there had always been scuffles, border disputes. And in our reckless behavior, the 5 of us attacked the Ord's home. Master Ord's vengeance was swift and it was severe. We were exiled for a reason. And that reason was our own foolishness and our own impulsiveness. And our father, Animus, lashed out. And when the original Wild Force, when the original Wild Knights raised the Animarium, we weren't able to go with. Instead, we were put into a sleep for many years. It's at this point that he looks down at you, Des. And he goes, I chose you because you're just like me, Des. We both just want to do better.
Kind of place a hand on his nose. So let's do it.
And you're not going to have to do it alone. And Gabe puts one hand on Dez's shoulder and the other on the against the peacock.
Peacock kind of sticks his head against you and he goes, we can do this. We got this.
All of us, all 6 of us, all 12 of us. Well, wait. Do we know about the Asher Zord situation yet, or
Nope.
is that still kind of secret?
Nope.
Okay.
You haven't been told.
Okay. Just
We
making
don't
sure. 'cause I
have
was gonna-
swords yet. Of course,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Okay, you know what? The 6 of us and the Wild Zord and the Savage Zords, we're all in it together. So you're not alone, Des. We're all here to help you, and we're all going to do better. And next time, I'm not going to get my ass kicked so bad.
At this point, Dez is gonna go on his communicator. Hey, guys, slight emergency at the Animarium. Nothing life or death, but you guys could come here now.
Um,
We have something to show you.
yeah, I'll be a little late. I have a meeting.
Yeah, I'm finishing up work. I could be there in like 15 to 20.
This is where we're going to cut. We're going to cut back over to you, Natasha. There are two young children in front of you. One boy, one girl, African American in descent. They are they're the Amethyst kids. They the one girl, the older sister is very being kind of haughty at you a little bit, just like, why are we here? You had agreed to kind of take the rap and take the fall on this one in an attempt to get them kind of lined out. The young boy he's being quiet, very nervous and fidgety. Most of his acting up has involved just fits, and I mean, you're working with like second and third graders, so it's pretty standard. Just like this kid's he's just having a hard time, and it's showing. He's been mildly destructive, but now that you're kind of aware of what's happening at home, these kids are quietly sitting in front of you, and the girl goes, "Why are we here?"
Well, I talked to your teachers and my supervisor. Instead of calling your parent and having a in-school suspension or a pending suspension, we wanted to do mediation to see if we can change behaviors before we take anything further. Um,
What do you mean change behaviors? We're fine. And she reaches up and she slaps something off of your desk.
um, Natasha just bends down, like reaches down and picks it up and puts it back on the desk, and hands the younger brother like a Rubik's cube, which is like so like he can pay attention while we're talking. I understand you're fine.
And he starts fidgeting and he puts it in his lap. And he looks at his sister and he goes, "Sis, are we going to see Dad again?" And he goes back to it. And she goes pale. She goes, I don't know.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret.
They both kind of look up at you. Curiosity piqued. What?
Adults are liars a lot of the time. We try to tell kids that everything is fine, that we're fine, because we want to believe it. And if we're fine, then you can be fine too. We tell you that we know what we're doing and that everything is going to be okay so that you're not scared. So that, and eventually, when you do see that we're just people, sometimes it's really terrifying because you understand that the people who were supposed to be perfect, who were supposed to know what they were doing, don't. I don't know if it's safe for you to see your dad right now. He's going through a very hard time, and right now he's being human. He's making mistakes, and he might get himself hurt because of it. That doesn't mean he loves you less or that he isn't trying to be a better person. That's not what being mature or grown up is. You don't have to be okay. Being okay doesn't mean the end all and be all of who you are. I'm not okay. I'm sad every day because my sister's in a coma, because I'm not home with my mom, because I don't have my dad anymore. But there are things we can do to try to make ourselves feel better and also make the world better around us.
The young boy looks up at you and he goes, "So you hurt too?"
I think I want to say I don't, but then I'd be lying. And we don't lie in this room.
No.
So what's wrong?
The older sister, the young boy goes, he just kind of looks over at his sister, and the sister looks at the brother, and they both just kind of nod to each other, and they go, "We know Daddy is being framed by Mom for acting up to." This sister just drops all facade at this point and starts talking like someone much older than she actually is. And she goes, "I'm going to level with you. Our mom is not a good person. She she drove Daddy away. And Dad was trying to get custody of us, and she lied to get him arrested, abused her power. We know it. We have proof of it. We're trying to act up to get CPS involved."
Well, I can take it to the the head of the school social work department. I'm only an intern, so I don't have the authority to call CPS. I'm gonna be your mom and dad are in well are in a position where they're letting their anger cloud their judgment, and that's a hard place to be when you're a kid.
Hmm. Just
And the only thing we can do sometimes, especially when we're in situations where the people who are supposed to understand and be the mature ones in the situation, is keep living our lives the best way we know how. I will take this up to I will talk to the head of the social work department, and if that doesn't work, I'll talk to the head of the school board, and if that doesn't work, I'll talk to the head of this. Talk to the city council. Sometimes, sometimes you have to talk to people, and because acting out and hurting other people when you're scared or when you don't know what to do only serves to isolate you from the people that can help you. And you're his older brother. You're his older sister, sorry. And when you're an older sister, sometimes you have to think about the things you do because you know that your younger sibling will follow you. And take it from me, if your younger sibling follows you to the wrong places, they might go with you over the cliff, and you're not always the person that gets hurt when you go over the cliff.
They both look up at you and nod awkwardly, and they go, "Please help us."
Any kid who walks in this office is my kid, and I always have my kids' backs. Now get out my office and go be the scholar I know you can be, because now that you're my kid, I'll snatch you up in the hallways if I have to.
Okay. We'll be good, we promise. And
Promise
the
me.
girl reaches in her pocket and hands you a thumb drive. She
Thank
goes,
you.
This is a copy of all the evidence. It's not the only copy, because
You know,
Mama didn't raise
you
no
always
fool.
good. You always make more than one. And remember, don't promise me anything. Don't promise anyone anything but yourself. Because that's when you know you mean it.
Yes, ma'am. And the both kids kind of shuffle out of your office. And you kind of look at it, go over to your laptop, pop it in. The kids were telling the truth. There's actually a video clip of the mother threatening the dad with exactly what the kid said. And they're you have to decide here. Are you going to run to your supervisor? Or are you going to meet with your team? Because it's 3:30. It's closing time.
I go to my supervisor.
Your supervisor goes, you knock on her door. Come in.
Hi, ma'am.
What is it? You don't look okay. What happened?
I had my meeting with the Amethyst kids, and they frankly told me that the reason they've been acting out is because they want to get CPS involved in their home. They have evidence that their mother has been threatening their father with action with the police and police action if he didn't give her full custody of the children.
That's a very serious. Do they have evidence?
Um, they gave
This is the
me
mayor. Like, if she's using her power like that, oh, my sister is going to have a field day with this.
yeah. I think we should send it to the media.
I'll give it to my sister. What do you've got?
I Natasha would have also copied the thumb drive just to have, so she would have like a copy of it too, and hands her the original one she got. Just like, hand this to your sister. I'll set up a meeting with the mayor to see if we can sort this out amicably. But if we can't, um, you know what you have to do.
I got you, girl.
Good.
It's at that point
This is
that
my
you kind of goes, I got to get this to my sister. And she stands up and basically kind of shoos you out the room and then basically bolts herself. Asher, we're going to cut back to you. Sorry.
I go into her broom closet and pour it out.
Asher, we're going to cut back to you.
All right.
You're standing there. You go over to the community center, and from there, you have a moment where you see Adam's talking to somebody. He sees you, waves, and finishes his conversation, and then kind of comes over to you and he goes, "Hey, Asher, what's up?"
Well, I've got a situation with one of my students, and I just wanted to see if there's any kind of suggestions or anything, anything that you've got on your end that could help with the situation. And so I kind of explained the situation. The kid's an alien. He's going to get kicked out of his the orphanage. Tell him who's basically in charge of the funding and kind of my backstory with this former chief. Just seeing what kind of options Adam may have, or what I can do on my end to kind of get this kid out of this situation and be able to keep the kid, one, off the streets, and two, going on a good track that won't lead him back to the reason why he was in my class in the first place.
He kind of sits there and as you guys were kind of talking, he led you to his office and kind of had you sit down, and you guys finished your exchange, and he's kind of sitting back in his chair. And he goes, "Well, I don't have anything, but I do know somebody that has been making it a point to help alien kids. Give me a minute." And he reaches over and grabs his desk phone and dials the number. "Yeah, Billy, it's Adam. Yeah, I got a little bit of a no. It's not squadron related. I wouldn't call you on this line if it was squadron. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So here's the deal. I got a kid over here, over in Turtle Cove, who's an alien, and he's basically being kicked out by a racist piece of crap. Okay? Yeah? All right, cool. Yeah, he's getting kicked out tomorrow. Okay, cool." And he clicks. Goes, "Well, Asher, you don't tell that kid he doesn't have anything to worry about. He's not going anywhere."
I will definitely do so. Just out of curiosity, if you're okay with telling me, what's the plan?
Cranston Technologies is going to buy the building and put it up as an orphanage.
Well, that's definitely one way to take care of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Billy's got stupid amounts of money these days, so yeah, he can just kind of do that.
Well, it's definitely appreciated, and if Billy ever needs anything that I can help with, definitely let him know.
Now,
I know
Billy,
this will be.
I'm sure he'll call on you. It's about this point that you get Dez's call.
Yeah, so I get Dez's call, and Asher kind of looks at Adam, and he's like, "Do you know anything that could be going on?"
Nope, I got no idea. But he didn't call me, so I think your Red Ranger is calling.
All right, well, definitely go see what he wants. Might be a team meeting kind of thing. I know we could definitely use it.
All right. We got one more time skip back. Derek.
Uh-oh.
The cops have pulled up.
Hey, man.
The guy,
This is profiling.
No, he pulled up because of the incident, and he kind of goes in and he goes, you see them kind of arrest the guy because there was like 5 other people taking videos of it, and the dumbass didn't leave. He just kind of walked around the corner and was still waiting for her, but the cops found her. And you see like a cop like basically pushing this guy's head in, and he goes, "Hey, you the instructor here?"
Yeah, that's me. I saw the whole thing.
That guy's pressing charges against you.
Against me.
Yeah, Look, I know it didn't happen, but I still have to ask you. Did you touch him?
No.
Okay.
I said I would if he ever came back around. I threatened him, but I never laid a finger on him.
Well, you can't really threaten. That's kind of crossing the line, but I understand. He goes, is she in here?
Yeah, she's still in the gym here.
It's at this point that she kind of comes out and she goes, "Oh, Officer Daniels, good to see you again." "Oh, you too, Marjorie." And they kind of start explaining it, and she tells her side of it. Like, she admits to assaulting him, but she explains why, and kind of at this point actually lifts up her shirt just enough to where you can see a bruise there. And that, like, it's faded, like it's been a while, but
yeah,
it became pretty crystal clear as to why she's taking your class. And they end up walking out together, and your assistant kind of looks over and she goes, "That looks like a prime example why we teach this class."
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I do this 4 days a week here and 2 more at the community center.
Yeah. How are
You
those
never know who's gonna need it.
How are the kids' classes going? I've been hearing those are. I heard you got one kid who actually like almost kicked your butt. Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of them doing really, really well. Even Adam was impressed over at the community center. Some of these kids, man, they don't have a whole lot else, so they show up to class and they give it their all.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm glad we're doing this.
Me too.
It's about this point that you get the call from Des. The 4 of you, I guess I should be asking, Des, are you heading back to the animarium, or are you gonna have Fox ask the other Zords to bring them here?
I'll bring them here.
Okay. As the 4 of you arrive on the animarium, your Zords all basically tell you to get on. You each ride to the opposite end of the island, off the fin, across the Rainbow Bridge.
We have crossed the Rainbow Bridge, guys.
I mean,
Asher,
we make it up.
as you're doing so, the other 2 Zords rise up, out. They kind of go, They go, this may be part of the team, but we didn't have anything to do with where they're going. And I'm not going. But I'll always be here to help you.
Asher nods his understanding, and thanks him, but does reiterate, this is something I do need to see and do with my team to, one, better understand them, and to two, better help us unite on the front.
Elephant Zord goes, yeah. I was partially responsible. I should have stopped them. I was their caretaker. So I think it's time I should... I agree with Fox. You should all be shown. And he literally he puts his trunk down and then basically puts you on his head. And each of you riding your Zords cross the Rainbow Bridge. You come to the desolate wasteland. Ruins. Long since abandoned. You see the Peacock Zord, the Fox Zord, and two people standing at their feet. As you get closer, you realize it's Dez and Gabe. Dez, Gabe, you look up and you see the rest of your team. The Zords land. Moose Zord. Never thought I'd be here again. I didn't want to come back. Kind of looks over. Should we tell them about this? He's looking over at Fang, and Fang goes, of course. They have a right to know. Fucking idiot. Hey, that's not nice. Then the two of them start bickering a little bit. Elephant stamps his foot, and they both go, whoop. Viper curls around. I never thought I'd see this again. Memories of foolish youth. All right, Des. You called them here.
I relay the story that Gabe and I were told a little while ago. And that's why they weren't there. That's why they chose us.
And that's why we owe them the same second chance that they gave us.
And we got to make sure that whatever happened here and whatever's out there, we stop it.
I need everyone to give me an alertness check.
Could be worse.
Natasha's too shook.
Natasha's very shook.
She has had a day. I think she's still trying to figure out how that girl like compiled this extensive dossier on her mom. Like
He outsourced it to like Russian spies or some shit.
Right.
I'm thinking more like, am I about to get kicked out of college for coming at the mayor of the town?
You're about to get blackballed for sure. There's no way.
I'm
All
not
right,
lost. I am
so
not lost.
Derek, Teddy, Dez, and Asher. It was a DC 13, Gabe. You just missed it.
It's all right.
It was like so fucking close. Natasha, you're very much in your head at this moment. Like this is all very nice and very impressive, but I'm about to get kicked out. Like I'm gonna go against. I'm doing stupid shit. I'm doing stupid shit. I'm doing stupid shit. In the distance, as the heat ripples the air, you see a figure walking towards you. That of a young boy. He's coming towards you. Immediately, the Zords start standing on edge. Nerves. Moose. Even elephant. Both back up. As he comes forward, five voices echo. Five voices echo. Sins of the past shall be judged no more. Through trial you shall endure. Earn the right to be called Rangers. The boy's form glows, shimmers, shifts. As five.
Before he shifts, just before he shifts, you hear Des say, "And who the hell are you to tell us?" Oh.
And the five Zords bolt out. Coming forward, a black lion. A golden leopard. A red shark. A black condor. And a brown bison. Form animus. And five shadows stand at the base. And a sixth forms in front. Daggers in their hands, they point at you. Six voices echoing. We challenge the Stampede. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
Wait.
Shit. 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 Shit.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. We apologize about all the technical difficulties we had. Join us next.
So many.
Join us next week when the Rangers are faced with the trial of their lives on Power Rangers Savage Stampede.
Boy.